All right, so I want to make this call kind of short and sweet. I basically want to talk about a few things. One is what I've been talking about in our group, the push groups coming up. Another is kind of our agenda for May. I also want to talk about free groups and how they've been working for a few people. And then I just kind of want to wrap it up with you guys kind of telling me where you're at as far as reaching your goals for the month and what you're, what's working for you or what you're struggling with, and we can kind of brainstorm and bounce ideas off of each other to really end the month strong. So let's start with just really quickly any announcements. I know hopefully you guys have been keeping up in the back office. The new Shaun T program coming out in July, Size It Up, looks amazing. I think that's going to be a huge, huge, huge thing for us. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, look in the back office. If you follow any of the elite coaches on Facebook, you'll see that if you were an elite coach, you would have gotten a preview, which is really cool. Beachbody sends out like a preview of whatever program is coming out. So all the elite coaches got a copy of one of the workouts. And what's been happening, because it's such a different program, is all of these coaches are going on their Facebooks and doing a recording of themselves doing like the routine, which is really cool because it's like really showing them stepping out of their comfort zone. Plus they're able to kind of advertise the program, which I'm super jealous of. But what it seems like is that first of all, every video that I have seen of these coaches doing this workout, they are drenched in sweat. Like you see just sweat all over their shirts, which gets me so excited because I know it's going to be an awesome workout. But they look like they're having so much fun. And it seems like what happens is he like teaches you the routine and you practice it and go over like the choreography, and then you have like a performance round. So I think it's like 3 rounds. And that's how the workout goes. I don't know the length of them, but knowing Shaun T workouts, I would say it's definitely not more than 30 minutes. So that's going to be awesome. Definitely continue to talk it up as you watch your back office and you see things coming up, talk about it. There's going to be more coming out because right now in New York City, they just did this week was the casting call for the actual taping of the video. So I actually know one of my customers went and auditioned. So I'm really excited to see if she makes it because I think I'm going to like live vicariously through her. So definitely keep up to date with that. The other thing that came up in your back office is they are doing a launch of, I think they're calling it Beachbody Performance, which is like a line of supplements. And from what it seems, I have to look into it a little bit more in depth and kind of find out a little bit more, but it seems like they're kind of reformulating some of the things that already exist, like E&E and Results in Recovery, but then they're also adding in some other things. So that's kind of cool too, and just keep your eyes out for that. This Saturday is Super Saturday. So if you are new and you've never been to a Super Saturday and you have nothing to do this Saturday, definitely go and figure out where there is one near you. I know there's one in Edison, New Jersey, which is being hosted by a couple of coaches from Middletown. And there's one in Philly. I unfortunately cannot get a babysitter and Ryan has a golf outing, so I'm super bummed. But what will happen is afterwards they will post in the back office kind of the video from Super Saturday so you can kind of get caught up. But if you can get to a live event, I mean, that's a whole other topic we could cover, but it's really powerful because you're able to go and collaborate with other coaches and just see, we get so caught up in the behind the scenes and get stuck behind our computers. And, the Beachbody community is so huge, and to be able to kind of network and share experiences with other people and have that, energy, especially if you can get to a really good Super Saturday, it's totally worth it. So the other thing as far as trainings, if you didn't see it today, Melanie posted that she's doing a blog I guess it's social media training. And they're going to be talking about blogging and Instagram and just all different ways to work your business on social media. It's actually being held in Pittsburgh, but if you purchase a ticket for the event, and it will sell out, so you want to do that. I think it's like $16. If you purchase a ticket for the event, it's going to be recorded, and it'll also be live streamed. So it's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday, May 2nd, I want to say, is the date of it. And so you can either, when you go on and purchase through PayPal on the Dream Team page, you'll get a link for the live recording, for the live streaming rather. But then also, that's how you're going to get the recording link. It's not going to be posted for free because they need to cover the cost of the venue as well as all of the extra money is going to be donated to the Woman of the Year campaign that Katie Erster was a part of for the LLS. So definitely do that. I mean, that's something huge. And even if you are near other coaches and you can kind of team up and all look at it together or whatever, but it's definitely going to be a really great thing to watch because it's all the top coaches talking about the different ways that they work their business. Like I said, I know it's definitely blogging, which Melanie's gets a lot of her business, if not most of her business, from her blog. I know Alyssa Showmaker is going to be presenting, and she is someone who's really big into Instagram. I'm not sure if they're doing Pinterest. I would really love to see that because there are coaches who get a lot of business from Pinterest. So anyway, you want to plug into that. Also, last announcement as far as events go, if you have not signed up for the wait list for Summit, or if you are interested in going to Summit, which is the main event, the training event in July in Nashville this year, July 16th through 19th, you want to put yourself on the wait list, but also start posting in the Dream Team because people have either earned or purchased tickets and things come up and they can't go. So if you're looking to go, you can definitely still get a ticket to that. So, just ask me about that if you're interested in Summit and haven't already signed up. Okay, moving on. I want to talk about the push groups because I know we're all, everyone that's on this call is in this business to build their business. And we see the potential of building a team and the different things that you can do and, the income that can be made. And one of the ways to do that is to rank advance. And so I know if you are new, I talked about this on our new coach call the other night. But if you missed that, just a reminder, the rank goes, you all start out as coach. The next rank is Emerald, where you have one coach on either side underneath you, on the left and on the right. Then Ruby, then Diamond, and then goes up into Star Diamond and so on and so forth. And that really, as I've said before, is how you can make a really lucrative earning in this business. So Emerald is definitely a milestone that I suggest everyone get to, regardless of what your goals are in the business, because it just makes sense. You start to get leads, you start to get free customers, and you start to earn team cycle bonuses, which is really cool. Plus, I think, and I know I've said this before, there's something different about knowing that you have a team working with you. It's really cool to know that you have people that you're inspiring on a physical level, but also on a business level, and you're able to share this experience with them and grow together. So that would be your first milestone. So if you are currently a coach and you are interested in going Emerald quickly, we are going to be running a Push to Emerald group. And I will confirm this after the call, but I want to say we're going to start on Monday the 27th. So basically it's going to be a 2-week group. I'm calling it a push because it is that. I mean, I want you to be committed to it, and I want you to be committed to checking in and really just being responsible for your vital behaviors. But if at any point you're going through and you're like, this is too much and this isn't the way that I want to do things, I don't want to have this pressure, that's cool too. Just let me know. But I think it's a good opportunity. I know that for me personally, those groups always helped me to be plugged in with other coaches and kind of just sharing my experiences. The other group that we're going to be doing is a Push to Diamond. So this is something that Melanie is actually running. And that is going to start on May 1st with a soft start. And the official start will be May 4th. And that's going to be, I want to say it's 30, maybe 60 days actually. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But I'll post the details as she comes up with them. But that's going to be a huge group, which is really great because you're not only going to be talking to the coaches that are on this team, but you're also going to be, connecting with coaches throughout the Dream Team. So from many different levels and many different organizations. And it's really cool to do that because we all do different things. We all have different interests. We all come from different places. So to be able to kind of come together and share our business sense and share our business experiences is really, really a great thing. So that's the Push to Diamond. There are requirements for the Push to Diamond group. It is that you have, not only are you Emerald, but you have 4 coaches underneath you. So 2 on each side or 3 and 1 or whatever it is. The other thing that definitely is going to be a requirement for the Push to Diamond group is that there's going to be a buy-in. And this was something that I thought was really interesting. I've never been in a group like this or run a group like this, but I thought it was kind of cool. So basically, if you are part of the Push to Diamond group, you would pay you would PayPal $20 to Melanie. So what happens is you're buying into the group and that money goes into a big pot. So now let's say there are 100 people in this group, which I think there will probably be at least that, if not more, because she's opening it up. And everyone pays $20, that's $2,000 that goes into the pot. Now, at the end of the 60 days or however many days, if you rank advance, you get a cut of the pot. So it's kind of a gamble, which I think is pretty cool because who doesn't like to win money? So not only are you advancing your business and getting all the perks that come along with that, but you're also, getting a pretty sweet cut of money. So I think that's a cool idea. For me, I know that because I'm pretty cheap, if I pay into something, then I'm going to be a little bit more committed. So for me, I think that would be like a really great way to kind of sweeten the pot. So I was thinking about possibly doing that for our push to Emerald and maybe, keeping it a little bit smaller, maybe making it like a $10 buy-in. But then if we have a $10 buy-in and there are 8 of us, that's $80 in the pot, and then maybe 4 people rank advance and you make $20 each or whatever. So that's just kind of something that I've been tossing around in my head. Again, just because I feel like it's just like I say with, selling your Shakeology packets. If you sell a Shakeology packet to a potential customer, they're more likely to see the value in that than if you give it to them for free. And I kind of seem to think the same way. And you can let me know what you think, but I think that $10 would be kind of an easy buy-in for that. So those are the 2 push groups going. Basically, what's going to happen in the push to Emerald is we're just going to talk about the vital behaviors. We're going to talk about where you are in your business, how you can present the business opportunity. And quite frankly, to get to Emerald it can be pretty easy because really, let's say you have, you're all started in your business at this point. Everyone has some Success Club points on the board. So you have customers. Basically, if you offer a discount to 2 of your customers, you are Emerald if they become discount coaches. So let's say you have my mom purchases shakes. She became a discount coach. Or my husband, I had created an account for him to be a discount coach just because then I could, I could purchase things through his account where I was then earning volume through his account. And like today I looked in my, I get my paycheck every week through Beachbody and I get an alert. And my husband made $60 last week. He's not working the business. The guy doesn't even work out. So that's kind of cool too. So that's just something to think about. So Emerald, that's kind of how we're going to run that. 2-week quick push, vital behaviors, checking in, keeping each other accountable, sharing ideas, kind of just continuing that new coach training. The Diamond Push is going to be a little bit different. Like I said, it's a little bit of a longer group. It's made up of a larger team of coaches. It's made up of the elite coaches. So you have Melanie in there, but then you also have, Alyssa Showmaker, Katie Ersta, I'm assuming, Deidre Penrose, Val Bazo, all the top Dream Team coaches who are going to be posting. But in addition, what Melanie's planning to do for that group is kind of source out to other coaches on other teams. So maybe you'll hear from someone like Janelle Summers or Carly Del Carlo, who's in the top 10, or, a lot of these coaches who are up and coming. And, when Melanie was talking about this group yesterday on a call that I was on, I thought it was interesting. She said, in order to stay fresh in this business, you have to seek inspiration from other coaches. You can't, I always say, put the blinders on and don't compete with other coaches, but don't put them on so much that you see them as competition and you ignore them. Look at what they're doing and see if you can duplicate that and get ideas from them and find that, whatever they're doing is working. So maybe you can find a way to make it work for you. And one of the things she said too was, don't follow me because I'm already at the top and I've been doing this for 3 years. So I don't have the freshest ideas. Look at these up and coming coaches who are really, experimenting with different things and really working to build their business versus those that are already at the top and kind of, maybe get comfortable. And that's not something you want to do. And the other thing she was saying was there are top coaches who have been in the top 10 and have been, 15-star, but are no longer 15-star because they got there and they got comfortable and they got complacent in their business and they just stopped, instead of being innovative and continuing to learn and to grow, just like we would in any profession. I know we have a lot of teachers in here. It's the same thing. It's like the teachers who, get stuck in their ways and have their kids in the rows and have the same curriculum they've been using year after year after year and don't want those fresh ideas and see the new people come in and they're threatened by them, but instead they kind of dismiss it. You don't want to do that. You want to always be open to new ideas. So with the Push to Emerald group, and definitely with the Push to Diamond group, you're going to get a lot of that information and you're going to get lots of new ideas. So I think those are both really, really great opportunities. And I always say, you want to set your goals high. You want to put your goals in writing. You want to put a date on your goals, because you know what? I have goals written down in front of me that I was just actually looking back and I'm like, oh, February's goals, they didn't happen. But you know what? There's no one here slapping me on the wrist because my February goals didn't happen. But for me, it was something to push for. And that's what you want to do. You want to really push yourself. So even if you enter this push group and you don't get to Diamond in 60 days, or you enter the push group and you don't get to Emerald in 2 weeks, you're still going to learn something. You're still going to grow your business in that direction, and you will get there when the time is right. So I definitely encourage you to do that if you're kind of on the fence. I'll post like a document for you guys to sign up and make that official. All right, so that's my push group kind of a thing. Moving on, and then we'll do questions at the end. I want to talk about free groups. So I know that we have Alyssa and Stephanie, who are the newest coaches on the call. I think you're both on here. I can't see everyone. Yes, okay. They decided as they were starting off their business, you both have kind of gone in full force, very inspirational, very motivational, both very different in your businesses, even though you're both teachers and friends of mine. But anyway, different personalities that are coming through in your business. And they both decided to do free groups. They were posting about challenge groups. They were getting some interest, but not a lot. And we talk about building a presence and building trust. So in doing that, they decided to do free groups. And they're doing them similarly, but a little bit differently, but they're both having great success. I'm kind of a fly on the wall for both of their groups. And I just wanted to share that with you guys and talk about what they're doing. So in the past, when I've done free groups, I've done like a free clean eating group. Usually that's what I do. And it's funny because when Stephanie and Alyssa did their free groups this time, they kind of took the advice that I think I gave on another call, was to do like a free fitness group where you're just motivating people to work out and using like an image from Pinterest or whatever that's got like a workout schedule and keeping it really low key and laid back. And it seems to really be working for them. And that excites me because it made me realize, even though I'm, coaching them, it made me realize that the reason I have not been in love with my free groups is because I'm doing clean eating. And while I eat clean, I'm not a cook. I don't like to cook. I like to assemble. And I know I've told you guys this before. So I just throw things together. So for me to run a free clean eating group and come up with recipes and come up with meal plans and come up with all these things is more work for me than I really want to do for a free group. But fitness is my thing. Like I can post about my workout every day consistently, and I'm really into that side of it. So it made me realize through what they're doing that I've been going about it the wrong way. So when I run my free group next month, I'm definitely going to do a fitness group. So it's just, a lot of times the things that we're doing aren't wrong, but maybe we need to tweak them a little bit. The other thing that I wanted to say about their free groups is, like I said, they're very laid back. So basically they're following this schedule for like an ab group. And so every day it says like day 1, these are the ab exercises. And all the girls have to do is go in and say and motivate and purely give people motivation to stay on track with this. But the cool thing is in doing that, they're not pushing a product. They're not in your face. They're truly there to just genuinely support people. But what's cool is they can kind of start to slowly introduce the other things that they're doing that are helping them. So they can talk about, like Stephanie's been talking about her 21-day fix. And her sister is, I like to call her wingman, because she's in there and she's doing the 21-day fix and she's posting about her meal plan. And she posted, I'm down 2 pounds on the 21-day fix this week alone. So even though it's not a Beachbody group and they didn't require anyone to purchase anything, it's happening. And Alyssa's at SC5 and Stephanie's at SC4, and people are starting to catch on to, these girls can motivate me. I can get this accountability. And in addition to the accountability that comes with having them as a coach, I can get these great products to continue and support my journey. So I think it's really cool that they're able to do that in a very non-threatening, non-salesy, very natural way. And I think that, I can't wait to see what happens after the group is over, because they both have fairly large groups, and I think they're really building a following and really building a trust. And I think they're also building a confidence in themselves as coaches. So I definitely suggest doing that. So that being said, I want to talk about our game plan for May and schedule what I'm planning to schedule for May. And then at the end, when we do when I allow you, you guys can unmute yourselves and do questions and answers and talk or whatever. Hopefully Stephanie and Alyssa can give us a little bit of insight as to what's working for them. All right, so May. Now, this is kind of funny because I'm sitting here and every month I kind of have, I have in my binder in front of me each month, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, kind of an outline of how I want to run my month, because it keeps me organized and it keeps me accountable to running these groups. So basically in week 1, I like to do a free group, as well as start my coach apprentice group if I have new coaches, or in this case, it'll be my push groups. If I have too much going on in week 1 with the coach training, then I can also push my free group to week 2. In week 3, I like to start a general challenge group, so not program specific. If a new program is launching, I'll also do one of those, but next month rather, there's not, so it'll just be a general one. And then also in week 3 or week 4, depending on the month, I'll do a sneak peek into what the business is via email or via group, as well as a coach opportunity call. So that's kind of the outline, and I'll go over that again, and I can post it with the specific dates. But what's funny is I pulled out my calendar as I sat down for this call, and I started plugging in dates, and I'm going along, and everything was all great until I got to May 18th and wrote challenge group and realized I am due May 21st. So it's going to be kind of interesting in May. And so I would love if you guys, wanted to kind of team up with me in my groups next month and kind of be there for me to lean on, just in case obviously I'm going to have a baby, and I would love to think that I'm still going to be able to be posting every day and keeping up with my posts, but I may need a little bit of help. So that being said, specific dates, May 4th is going to start my Push to Diamond and my free group. The free group will run for the month. May 11th, I won't be starting anything new. May 18th, I'll start the challenge group with a week of preseason. And then May 25th, I'll do a sneak peek, and I plan on doing a coach opportunity call on May 27th. But now, actually, now that I'm looking at that, I see that it's also Memorial Day week, so that can kind of get a little bit fudgy, but that's kind of my rough sketch. So again, I'll post the dates. If anyone's interested in kind of doing a bigger group for these things and teaming up with me so that I have that support, I would really appreciate it. And we can kind of, however many coaches are in there, we can split up the posts and everyone do a week or whatever, so that it's really engaged. So that's my plan. And I always like to have a plan, because then I always have a place to put people. If I do my sneak peek on the week of May 25th, then if I get new coaches, that following first week of June, I can start with a coach apprentice group. So that's kind of my thought. If I do a free group on May 4th, then hopefully I'll start to drum up some interest. And by May 18th, maybe they're ready to purchase and can jump in that challenge group by the week of May 18th to May 25th. So that's kind of my thinking and my planning out when I come up with this sketch and this calendar. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully that kind of gets your wheels turning, and it gets you, that way there, you always have something to post about, and you always have something to invite to, so as we're going forward and we're getting towards the end of the month, if you're still in need of Success Club points, you can continue to invite to your challenge groups, and you can add them in now or add them in later or whatever will work for you. Always inviting to coaching, because that will help your business and will also help your Success Club points. And then also, as you're going through the month of May, if you're starting your challenge group on the 18th, the third week, that's always nice because it's a week of preseason. So even if people don't purchase right away, they've got until the end of the month really to jump in that group. So that's just kind of the thought process that goes beyond, behind my planning and my scheduling. So that's what I've got for you guys. I would love to ask you to unmute yourselves if you have something to add, questions, think about where you are in your month? Are you where you want to be as far as your Success Club points? Are you struggling? Are you getting objections? Just tell us anything. And then also, like I said, Alyssa and Stephanie, if you guys have anything to add about those free groups, then that would be great too. So feel free to unmute yourself or type in the chat, whichever. Anyone?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I want to do the push to Emerald, but I don't feel comfortable with reaching out and approaching someone and telling them what to do, how to sign up, that kind of thing. So I understand that behind it, like, okay, you're going to get the discounts from the Shakeology, and all you're doing is purchasing the Shakeology for a discount coach. And I understand the reasoning behind it, but I don't know what action to tell them. Okay, you need to go to this website, and I feel like I don't have enough knowledge there.
Okay.
To get them in the right direction.
All right. So you are comfortable with, like, okay, let me just try to figure out. So basically, if I'm presenting the option of discount, like if I'm talking to someone, I'm like, okay, like basically I started out with your shake, your next shakes are going to ship on X date. And, if you're loving them as much as I think you are, and usually everyone does, then you should really consider getting them at a discounted rate and kind of open it up with that. And again, like you never want to give too much information at one time. So then kind of the conversation will go back and forth, and you can explain to them, basically, the shakes are $132 if you do the home direct. If you are if you sign up for the discount, you get them, you pay a $15.95 a month. And I call it, for a discount coach, I call it like a membership fee. And then your shakes are $99. So you're saving $15 a month, roughly. And then over, you can even go as far as saying over 6 months, you'll save $100. So that's always kind of something. And kind of just have the conversation open that way. And then what I always do is I will send them a direct link. So the other thing that you want to this is the thing, and I, as you can tell, I'm stumbling over my words because I know exactly what you're thinking because I've been there. But you really want to breadcrumb this and give them little bits of information, because what I struggled with was kind of giving too much information at once. And then I felt like it scared them away because it scared me. So if you can just give little bits. So then what you would do is like send them the link. And then at that point, basically if you, and you know this because it happened for you, if you purchased a challenge pack, then you don't pay the sign up fee. So those are the people that it's really worth it for, because they're not paying $39.95. So what I wouldn't even bring that up until you send the link, the direct link to sign up as a coach. And you'll just say to them, okay, on the first page, you'll put in your information. And you've already purchased a challenge pack, so you won't have to do that. And then you'll pay $39.95, but it will be reimbursed to you within 3 days.
Okay.
And do it that way. And like I said, just send the direct link, and you can get that from Coaching Codes.
From Coaching Codes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. And then I also as far as approaching people for the business too, like if you have someone, let's say you're running a challenge group and you have someone who's posting all the time and really encouraging other people, or you have someone who's getting great results. Those are the people that I approach, and I'm like, you're kind of already doing the things that I'm doing, and I think that you'd be a really great coach, and talk about how, people in our group are looking to you for motivation, and you're posting different things just like I would. Or, I've noticed that, like, I have a girl in a challenge group, it kills me. She's lost like 35 pounds, and she posts about it on her page, and she has people who are purchasing programs because of her, but she won't sign up as a coach. And I'm like, you're killing me, because you could be like, at this point, you could have made so much money. Like, you could have covered, the cost of your Shakeology, or you could have covered the cost of whatever. Like, you could be bringing in this income just for sharing your story, which is what it's all about, and motivating other people, which is what you're already doing. So those are just some ways to kind of take the conversation to a natural level. And, just kind of in that direction. I was listening to, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have if you pull up the podcast app on your phone, you can listen to all these different podcasts. And I was really into it today. Shaun T has a podcast, which is awesome. And Shalene has one, and I was listening to Shalene, and this is like not the first time I've heard this lately, but it was basically saying, like, take yourself out of it and think about them and think about, you know, you're presenting them with an awesome opportunity, and don't think about like your fear of rejection, because it's not about you, it's about them. And if you have a challenger who's doing awesome, you want to talk to them about the opportunity to, you know, share what they're already doing and make money for doing it. Or if you have someone who's loving Shakeology, everybody loves to save money. You know, like you wouldn't see someone who goes and shops at the Loft all the time and not tell them about a sale, or not tell them about like signing up for a ShopRite card, you know, and that's kind of what you're doing, or signing up for a Costco membership. Like, you're just sharing with them the opportunity to save money. Worst case, they say no. And there are people who are freaked out by the idea of signing up for a discount for some reason. I don't know why, but there are. So they may say no, but that's okay. And you just put it out there, because in the end, you're helping them and you're helping yourself. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Definitely. And just to make sure I have this right, and I'm sorry if these are dumb questions, but if I have someone who's a discount coach and that's their only desire, they just want a discount, they don't want to have to reach out and do the challenge groups and stuff, they can stay active just by purchasing their monthly Shakeology.
Yep.
Okay.
And you know what I tell people too? I will also say to them, like, because people, and I'll say, like, you don't have to do what I do. It's just called a coach so that you get the rates that I get. Basically, right. I'm giving up my commission so that you can get the discount.
Okay.
And then I'll also say, but if people start to see what you're doing and want to join a group or talk to you about your program, you can certainly put them in my groups and you can take the commission.
Okay.
And that kind of helps people too. And honestly, like, why not? Because it's going to help build your volume if they do that. It's going to keep them around longer, and you're running the groups anyway, you know?
Okay. Cool.
All right. Alyssa, while you are unmuted, do you want to say anything about your free group? Any insight you can give us, or any experience that you've had?
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by how many girls. I think I have like 22 girls in it, which was really exciting because I just started and I felt like I was getting some responses from people here and there, but the free group definitely took off quicker. So maybe in a selfish way, but it's definitely giving me the confidence boost I needed, because I felt like just starting out, I was getting kind of discouraged and I felt like I was being really vulnerable, putting myself out there, and wasn't getting a lot of people coming back. So to be able to do the free group, which of course everyone loves, and just having all this positive feedback. I mean, the girls are so engaged, and just building each other up just really gives me more motivation myself to keep pushing and to keep reaching out. And I'm already seeing I have 2 people who purchased challenge packs this week because of the free group. So this is day 6. So awesome. It's definitely beneficial for me. Yeah.
And you know what? I'd also noticed that you had posted on your wall about the people who purchased the challenge packs, which I thought was cool. Have you gotten any feedback from that?
I did. I have a couple of girls that were liking it and commenting on it, and they were really interested. And especially because the girls that I posted about on my Facebook page are not women that are active and working out right now in any way, shape, or form. So I'm feeling like some of the girls that are intimidated by Beachbody, or they think of P90X or Insanity right away, they're seeing these other girls and they're saying, oh, they're doing it, I can do it too. So I think that's where some of the feedback is really positive.
Cool. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So exciting. I'm happy for you. Now, when you posted about your free group, did you only post about it on your personal wall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then while I have you on here also, because this is something that I struggle with, and I know you had mentioned to me, like, I think you said, like, when you're at church, you want to, like, tell people, like, you love Jesus, you'll love Shakeology, and you're really open with going and talking to people about what you do. And I was actually saying this to a couple people yesterday. I was like, okay, Alyssa signed up as a coach like 2 weeks ago, and everyone in our school knows that she's a coach. I've been teaching there since September, and like no one knows I'm a coach, because for some reason, like, I'm cool with being behind the computer, but in public I clam up about it. So do you have any advice about, like, putting yourself out there in public and being comfortable with talking about it? Or do you think that's just like your personality? Or
It's definitely my personality. I definitely, and I wasn't always like that. I was always very scared of like judgment and what people would think about me. But I've just recently learned, and like partly a God thing, but like learned to love the skin that I'm in and love like the woman that God created me to be. So I literally went up to our principal today and I was like, Mr. Strong, do you know what Shakeology can do for you? And he was like, no. I was like, we'll talk. End of June, we'll talk.
He needs more than Shakeology.
It's just being kind of fearless and being like, if you think I'm crazy, then you can think I'm crazy. That's fine because it works for me and it's going to work for you if you try it too. You know, I mean, it's just kind of no sweat off your back. If they don't like it, then
awesome.
And they just laugh at me. You know, that's fine.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Who else? No one? All right, Steph, I'm going to call you out because I know you're doing a free group too. And I just want to ask you, I think you posted about yours. I think I saw you say you posted about it in what, Moms on a Budget?
Yeah, I did a bunch of Moms on a Budget site and I got a lot of people to join from there. And actually the person that bought the challenge pack was somebody that I don't know at all.
Awesome.
So, and they seem to be showing the most interest.
People that you don't know. Okay. So you just posted that you were having a free group and...
Yeah, free. I've posted before that about groups and haven't gotten response, but the word free got a lot of people interested.
Mm-hmm.
So I got and then I added them as my friend, and then I had them like my like page, and I got a lot more likes on my like page, and I've just been posting in my group about what I've been doing, but I've been throwing in the 21-day fix stuff, like my food and the workouts, and people are showing interest in it. Like they're messaging me. They're not buying it, but they're messaging.
Cool. And they're starting to watch. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many people do you have in your free group?
I have a lot, but not everybody is being active, but probably close to 30 active people.
Okay. That's awesome because the thing is too, and I wanted to mention this, I know, this is something I kind of go back and forth with. I usually have people sign up for a free account on Beachbody. But sometimes when you do have those people from a Moms on a Budget who you don't necessarily know, that can scare them off because they're like, whoa. I thought it was free. Now you're pushing Beachbody. So Steph did not require it, but you did post about it, right? You said that it was optional.
Yeah. And I had 3 or 4 people that signed up. I posted it and I said it's not mandatory, but I would like if you do. And 3 or 4 people have signed up under it.
Okay.
It's a free one.
Okay. Because then the other thing I was going to say is when your free group comes to an end, you can kind of you could even, I've done this in other, kind of post a video, what's next, and say these are groups that I run all the time. There are challenge groups. If you become my customer, you're plugged into programs that are coming out or whatever. So that's something you could kind of, again, bring up at the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that at the end, I'm going to promote a group that they have to purchase something to be a part of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would kind of limit them to maybe one free group for now, maybe later on. But the other thing is, I also tell people, if you sign up for a free group, Beachbody is not going to charge you anything. But what happens is you then become part of my contact list. So when I am running a free group or I am running a challenge group or there is a special coming out, I can email you without, you're automatically on that list of people that I emailed and you'll be the first to know. So that's something that I kind of spin it because honestly, that is true. I don't keep my contacts anywhere but in my back office. So when I go to send out a mass email about, what's happening in April or what's happening in May, that's where I derive my list from. So that's something to talk about too.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. And I know you wanted to do the push to Emerald, right?
Yeah.
And you were asking a question about the sign up fee. Did I answer the question for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. So does anyone else have anything to say?
I have a quick question. So I have a couple people who are interested in the the workout DVDs, but they feel unsure about the Shakeology. So I've just been trying to get them to at least sign up for, at least get the DVDs, the 21-day fix, the PIA, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's not a challenge pack, if later on they wanted to sign on for the Shakeology, should they be getting a challenge pack? Because doesn't that involve another workout, another fitness program, or should they just do Shakeout?
Well, you know what? And that's the thing that I always try to tell people, but there are people who are reluctant. And so the thing is, like, let's say, you can't convince them at first, but then after a while they figure out that they want it. Something that I'll say to them, like, if they don't want to do another workout program, which is understandable, you can suggest to them doing like a 3-day refresh, because then they could do the refresh challenge pack, which is $160. So instead of paying $132, or if they didn't do HD, paying $145 for, between $30 or $15 more, unless it's on special, they're also going to get the 3-day refresh, which is like a $60 value.
Okay.
The other option is to do the club membership challenge pack, and then that way they would have access to the whole club membership. And then the other thing I always talk about is like whatever the special is of the month. Like, I try not to get people, and there are people who will, like, I try not to get people to sign up just for Shakeology, because honestly, every month there's something for $140. So like this month, I'm like, you could either pay $132 and get a bag of Shakeology, or you could pay $140 and get a bag of Shakeology and a PiYo workout, which is a $60 value. So it just makes more sense to do it that way. And then that way that helps you, because then you get 2 Success Club points.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good question. All right. Okay, so if no one else has anything, I will let you guys go, but I want you to definitely think about the push groups. Post in the group. Like I said, I'll start a thread going to see who is definitely in. We'll talk about if, with the push to Emerald, if you want to do the $10 buy-in, if you want to bag that, whatever. Majority will rule. The push to Diamond, like I said, that is definitely a $20 buy-in for sure. That's not something I control, but I want to know who's interested in that. And then also just going forward, like I said, anyone who is willing and able to help me out next month, that would be greatly appreciated while I, get ready for this baby to come out of me. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for logging on. Thank you for your patience in the beginning. I really appreciate it. I hope that this was helpful, and post any questions you have, and I will talk to you on the page and see you next week. Have a good night.